I want to make a quick video on how I'm going to get a bunch of contacts for a very cost-effective way. So I want to show you how I'm going to use this Apollo.io to basically get a bunch of contacts. They're going to be accurate. They're going to be the emails of business owners, and they're going to be really, really good. Normally, this would cost me a couple $100s, but I'm going to show you how to do it with a $50 Apollo account. And I believe you can get up to 10,000 contacts using this method. So it's very, very cost-effective. Again, that would probably cost me $1,000 just to get some VA or something to do it. But I'm going to show you how to do it in just a little bit, maybe 30 minutes. And so let's jump into it. A couple of things that you're going to need. So I am using Apollo. You're going to need an Apollo account that costs about $50. Then you're going to need a tool called Instant Data Scraper. Now, Instant Data Scraper basically helps you get data from the list that we're going to go through in Apollo. And it's also a Chrome extension. So you'll just download it and then add it to Chrome. And I'll show you how to use it in just a bit. And then I recommend that you get ChatGPT. It does help out a lot. And I'll show you exactly how in a little bit. And then you'll just need some kind of database, right? So in this case, I'm using Google Sheets, and this will be my my spreadsheet here. So let's jump into it. First thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go into Apollo. Like I said before, you'll need a paid account to do this because we're going to be saving emails. Then we are going to look at the filters here on the left. So there are better ways to do this technically. Like you could go through and find a like a list of website or business websites, and then put it into the company filter, which is actually a really good method, and I would recommend it. But for this example, I'm just going to be doing what we can find in Apollo using the native features. So let's go through the filters I'm using. The job titles I've got are these like kind of like upper level management job titles. They could be like I could go through each individual job title and make sure that they make sense. But in this case, I'm just doing I'm just building a list for a Facebook lookalike audience. And so it doesn't need to be so exact. If I was doing cold email, I probably would go through those job titles more carefully. Then I'm going to look at the location. So for this specific example, I'm actually going to go to the United Kingdom. That's the target that I am going to. United Kingdom. Let's just wait for it to load, quite slow. All right, United Kingdom. And that's going to load there. The number of employees, it is going to be, I've got 1 to basically 100. Now, past that, it's kind of like a very large company. And if you're targeting very large companies, that's totally fine. So you just want to be cognizant of how big the company is. Now, industry keywords, this is where I've done all my filtering, and this is going to be kind of a really important point. I'll get back to this in just a little bit, but essentially it's just keywords that would be relevant to my niche. I'm actually going after physiotherapists, so that's why these keywords are here. If I open this up and then I go to company keywords, you can see a list of the keywords here. Then I'm going to go to email status as the last thing and basically make sure that all of the emails are verified or at least there, right? And so that's what I've got the filters here for. So back to the industry keywords. So what I've done is I've got a list of keywords. I've got as many as I could think of. And then what I did was I went to ChatGPT and I just said, hey, can you think of any other keywords to find my target audience based on this keyword list? Please, add as many additional keyword ideas you can think of. I am looking for physiotherapists in the UK, or physiotherapy businesses more accurately. All right, I've got the premium version, so I'm just going to upload a screenshot of the ones that I've got here. I've got some spelling mistakes, but it's not a big deal. ChatGPT will help out. It's going to give me a list of those additional keywords, and then the only thing is I need to format it. Please format these keywords without the word UK in it, and write them out in a line separated by and then comma space. All right. I've got some spelling mistakes again, but it's all good because ChatGPT is quite smart for these kinds of things. Yeah, so we got rid of that. And then it looks like we're listing them out again, but I'm going to hope that it does my formatting with the separating by the line thing. So let's just see. Okay, it didn't do it. So write them out. So write them out. Separated by that. Let's see if it can understand that. There we go. So now this is going to be actually a usable list. Physio education and training, probably wouldn't do that one, but I think all of these would be good. Cool. And then I'll go back into Apollo. And basically for the keywords, I'm going to go down here to the bottom and I'm going to add these additional keywords in. It will add them. You do need that little paragraph thing because it'll help you separate them out. And now I've got 474 total contacts for this particular search. I am going to save this search. So it's going to be physio owners, and then this is going to be physio owners. Oh, sorry, save as new search, physio owners UK. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and save that. There we go. Now, the next step is to save all of these contacts. So let it just load for a little bit. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll select all of the people in this page. There's 400 and something plus. I'm going to save those contacts, and then I can create a list. So so it's going to be physio owners UK, right? It looks like I already have one, so that is fine. I'll go ahead and save that list into here. Now, the reason you save a list is because it's going to automatically search. It's automatically going to find the email. Normally, I used to think that you had to go through and click each one of these individually, and I actually paid someone to do that once upon a time. But then I learned that by saving, you actually automatically all the emails start to appear. So let me just refresh a couple times, and then I will show you what it looks like once they are saved. All right, so very interesting. I actually got a very small amount of contacts here. So this is maybe a little bit of a guide to you. If you're looking in the UK, there might be limited, as I think the GDP. I forgot the name for it, but the compliance laws are pretty strict now, and so a lot of people might be getting their emails removed from their like databases and things like that. But we'll continue with this example because it's still very useful. If you're in America, I can assure you you're going to get a lot more of these results. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the tool Instant Data Scraper. So I'm going to click on the little icon here. I've got a list of my saved contacts. And just to emphasize why this is important is because their email now shows up in the column right here. All right. And then I'm going to open Instant Data Scraper. And what this is going to do is it's going to make a table of all the data in this table on the website. So it'll bring it from the website and put it into kind of an external table. And so the way this works is I can put a scroll time of like, let's say 10 seconds. That's what I found works for Apollo. So 10 to 11 seconds. I will locate the next button. So if I scroll down here, this will be the next button right here. And then basically all I have to do is just hit the start button. So I'm going to hit start right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through this list and it'll try to find all those contacts and it'll pull them into this external list for me. So it's automatically gone through the first page and it's gone through the second page. Can't find the table here, so there was a little bit of a bug, but it did look like it found the first page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this. I'm going to go over to the spreadsheet here and I'm going to paste all of the contacts that I have here. All right. So this is the first round of contacts that I've got. You can go ahead and organize this a little bit. So, these titles don't really make sense. So like maybe the company name, and then title, and then we've got the names. And then the most important is, of course, the email. All right. So what I've noticed from doing this is that Instant Data Scraper does not get all of the contacts the first time. So it's a little bit buggy like that. And so what you'll essentially need to do is take this list right here. So I've got 25 contacts. Now, obviously, if this was a much bigger list, it would have taken a lot longer and it would have, gone through a lot more contacts. But the idea is that it will miss some of those contacts. And so we want to filter out the contacts that we already have and then have it search again. And then, step by step, it'll keep getting the new contacts and eventually we'll have all of the contacts. All right. So the way we do that is we take this list right here. I'm going to download this current list as a CSV. And then I'm going to go back to Apollo and I will upload. Let me just think here. How do I upload again? Import right here. And then I'm going to bulk import using a CSV. And then I'm going to select my. All right, I've uploaded my CSV. And then I'm going to create the list as physio owners -UK already have. That's just a random name, but that will help me organize it a little bit. A lot of these should be kind of organized already. So contact name, contact title, account name, that's fine. That's what they call the business name here. And then I'm just scrolling through and just making sure if there's any other fields that I want. It's actually not so important. I would say the main thing to look out for is, of course, the email. So let me just see here. So the website's kind of interesting too, but yeah, contact email. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and import that. I'm importing that now. All right, great. So now I've got that imported list here. Those are the 25 contacts, which you can see here. I've got 26, but there's a title as well. So it'll be 25 contacts. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that search option that I had before. So let me just see if I can go back. Yep, so this is the search. And I'm going to exclude the people who I've already have, right? And so let it just load a little bit. Okay, so these are the contacts that we have. And then we're going to go to lists and we're going to exclude the list. And then we're going to exclude the UK ones that we already have. Okay, so now we've got a smaller list of contacts and I need to, yeah, that seems correct. Great. Now, normally this is a very small example, but normally there would be many, many pages of this. And so that's why this will be useful, is because you want to get all of the contacts that you can, not just, leave some of them. And so I'm going to pop open the tool for Instant Data Scraper again. So it'll open this up right now. Luckily, since I only have one page left, I can actually just go ahead and copy here. But if I didn't, I would start the scrolling process again, and I would get all those contacts again. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to go over to my spreadsheet again. I'm going to paste all these fields here. Now you do have to be careful. Sometimes the Instant Data Scraper tool, it mixes up the data. So you just got to make sure that it matches. So I can see here, for example, the email does match. It looks like everything pretty much does match. So I'm pretty lucky here. And then I'm going to delete this row because this is the title, and everything should just move up. So there we go. Now I've got an updated list of the contacts, and essentially you would just keep doing the same process. So I would download, and then I would go back here, I would import, and then I would remove that list again. You can even save the search with the excluded list and then just keep doing it over and over. All right, so that's the process that you would use. Now, one more extra trick to basically double your emails. A lot of the time you can't actually send emails to people who don't have business names, but or you can only send cold emails to business emails. But I'm actually using this as a way to build a custom audience in Facebook. And so what would be a little bit more useful for me is to actually get a personal email. Even as I won't be messaging those personal emails, it is useful because people will sign up to Facebook with their personal emails. So the way you do that is, I believe you have to go into, I believe it's settings. And then I believe you go into, let me just check real quick. All right, so you go to settings, you go to prospecting configuration, and then here it'll ask which is the primary email address that you want. I actually already had the personal email set up, but you could, so I'm going to switch over to the business email, and that's basically all you have to do. So you'd switch it over like that, and then you're good to go. Instead of finding the business email, which is the default, it would then find the personal email. This is only going to work for contacts that have both. So, for example, if somebody has a business email only, then it'll just show the business email again. Okay. But if they have a business email and a personal email, it'll show the personal email. And if they only have a personal email, even if you have the business email selected, it'll show their personal email just because that's their only like option for finding that person. All right. And so another kind of like little trick that you do have to do when you set this up is you have to go back to your searches. And I know this is a little bit annoying, but you actually have to go to your searches. You have to, yep, this looks like the correct search that I was doing before. And you would have to actually delete these contacts from the saved. So there is a saved bar right here. So I'm going to select all, and then I would literally go ahead and delete these contacts. Now, when you do this, you will actually have to pay for them again. And so you will want to make sure that this is actually worthwhile for you if you are looking for the personal emails, but you would delete it. And then here, I'll show you, I'll walk you through this process. So you will delete it. It'll take up more email credits to do this again, but if you have enough, then this will be worth it because you can find some more valuable emails. All right, so, okay. And then I'm going to do my search again. But now, again, remember I have the settings set up to the new configuration. So let me just confirm that again. Prospecting configuration is, oh, sorry, it should be business email and then save. I must have not saved it last time. And then I'll go back to my search. And I will find this search again. So again, this is a very, very small list of like 15 people, but I just want to show you as an example, like what it could look like. All right. So if I took off that UK filter, all of a sudden I'm getting, 5,000 contacts. Right. And I did this earlier with America specifically, and I was getting, I think, like 3,500 contacts. So it was very, very useful for me. I guess the only issue that I'm running into is because it's in the UK specifically, but I plan to do Australia as well, and hopefully that should help out as well to get a little bit more specific. But yeah, essentially, here, let me just show you United Kingdom, or actually, let me just show you here. Sometimes, I guess I don't have an example right now, but yeah, if they would have both their emails, then all of a sudden it is showing the business email as the option here, and that's what's going to be grabbed from Instant Data Scraper, and you would just go through the same process. So you would get Instant Data Scraper to scrape the list, you would add it to here, you would then download this as a CSV, filter out that CSV from showing up here by filtering out the contacts that you already have, and then rinsing and repeating and just keep going over and over. All right. So that's pretty much the whole process. Yeah. So that's the whole process. I hope you found that useful, and feel free to build some custom lists using Apollo. And yeah, follow me for more if you need some more information. Thanks.